हरि ओम। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev. Hari Om. So Bhagwan Shri Krishna is teaching Atma-jnana to Arjuna. Atma-jnana is the only supreme solution to make us free from this bondage of samsara. The basic cause of this samsara is avidya. Avidya is not knowing ourselves as we are. So this avidya gives rise to different shok and bhai and all different types of emotions we experience, and we get caught up in the mesh of karma and remain bound to this samsara. So Bhagwan gives the very essence of the Vedas through this Bhagavad Gita. So there are this twofold path mentioned in the Vedas. Same thing is revealed in Bhagavad Gita. See, ultimately we have to gain self-knowledge. But before we become fit to gain self-knowledge, we have to follow the path of karma. So karma, and that will lead to jnana and jnana-nishtha. That is the path. So Bhagwan, from the 11th verse of 2nd chapter, taught Arjuna this path of jnana. He revealed to him that Sankhya means the knowledge of the Supreme Self, is revealed to Arjuna, that what is the nature of that self, how it is indestructible, how it is birthless and deathless, how it is all pervading, how it is beyond all vikar, modification, how it is not the doer of any action, nor the receiver of any results of action. This is the knowledge of our Supreme Self, which we have to attain and gain abidance in this knowledge. So when we gain this knowledge, then we do the sadhana of gaining abidance in that knowledge. That sadhana is called the jnana marga, which leads to jnana-nishtha. But, as I said, to become fit to gain this knowledge, we have to follow the path of karma, path of action. So these are the twofold path of action and path of that knowledge, abidance in knowledge. All the paths, spiritual paths, whether they are called karma yoga or kriya yoga or ashtanga yoga or bhakti or upasana, whatever they are, all those paths which involve doing, performing action with the help of our body, mind, senses, all the path which involves performing action with the sense of doership, when we perform those actions, then all these are the path of action only. And through this path, ultimately we have to gain that knowledge. And once we gain knowledge, then begins the path of knowledge, that is the path of gaining abidance in that knowledge. So Bhagavan makes this division very clear here in the second chapter. In the 39th shloka, he tells Arjuna, till now I spoke to you about Sankhya, and now I will tell you about Yoga. Yoga means karma, karma yoga. So he says, Esha te bihita Sankhye buddhir yoge tu imam shrunu. Till now I gave you Sankhya buddhi, the knowledge of that Supreme Self. Now I will give you Yoga buddhi, the knowledge of karma. Why we should perform karma, how we should perform karma, what type of karma we should perform, for whose sake we should perform karma, with what attitude we should perform karma. All this is involved in the buddhi of what you call karma or yoga buddhi. So that Bhagavan says, I will tell you. And when you gain this abidance in this yoga buddhi, buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi, you will become free of this karma bandhan. This karma yoga itself will lead you to knowledge, that will lead you to abidance in that knowledge, and you will become free of all your bondage. So this yoga buddhi is very important. So in this yoga buddhi, there are 4 or 5 things which are very important, which we have to remember. One is, we should understand our kartavya karma. We should gain kartavya buddhi. We should know exactly what are my duties with respect to my body, with respect to my gender, with respect to my samskar, with respect to my age, with respect to the nation in which I am living, in the yuga which I am living, with respect to the people and the society around me. So many factors are there. Based on that, I should know exactly what are my duties. The duties keep on rectifying, keep on modifying, keep on changing. Sometimes there are regular duties, sometimes emergency duties are there. Sometimes special duties come up, like during this lockdown period and all, we have some special duties which as a citizen of our country we have to follow them sincerely. So we should be clear about our kartavya karma, means our obligatory duties. Arjuna was not so clear. Though he knew that he is a Kshatriya, he has to fight this war, but he also thought of just dropping this war, giving up this war, and running away from the battlefield. He was confused regarding his duties. He did not know whether to fight or not to fight, to kill or not to kill. He was confused when he saw his own people. He said, how can I kill them? Though I know I am a Kshatriya, I should fight to kill, but how can I kill my own people? So he got confused regarding his duties. Similar confusion might be there in our mind. So we should be very clear about what are our duties. That is the kartavya buddhi we should gain. Understanding. Buddhi means understanding of our kartavya. Once that becomes clear, then the second thing which we should know is why we are doing this, why we are fulfilling our duties, for whose sake we are doing. Am I doing for my sake? Am I doing for the sake of my family, for the society? Ultimately all of them are involved, but mainly I am doing it as a worship of Ishvara. So I should dedicate my kartavya karma to Ishvara. I should have the notion, that belief that Ishvara is my supreme boss, my supreme master, and he has placed me in this world, given me this body, given me this situation, and given me this work. So I am doing this work for Ishvara. So Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. I should have this buddhi, this understanding, wisdom of dedicating my actions to Ishvara. Dedicating means having that firm belief that I am doing it to Ishvara. भगवान के लिए मैं कर रहा हूँ. मेरा कर्म ही भगवान की सेवा है. मेरा कर्म ही भगवान की पूजा है. I am doing it for Bhagwan. I am Bhagwan's sevak. Just like Hanumanji, when he was asked that who are you, Ravan asked him, who are you? He said, I am Bhagwan's Duta. I am Bhagwan's sevak. I am doing all this for the sake of Ishvara only. Ishvara is my supreme boss. He is the big boss. He is not only my boss, but he is the boss of the whole world. Bhutanam Ishvaropi san. It is said Bhagwan is the Ishvara of the entire creation. So, Kartavya Buddhi, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. And while performing karma, we should have also Asanga Buddhi. We should not get attached to karma. We should not get attached to the result. We should not get attached to people. We should not get attached to object. Remaining Asanga, remaining untouched by the ups and downs of the surrounding, we should just focus our attention on performing our karma. Should not get disturbed by anything. Our focus should be very clear. When Hanumanji goes in search of Sitaji, he just flies over the ocean, across the ocean. Lot of obstacle comes in his path. So Mainak Parvat comes. And it is a good, it requests Hanumanji that you please take a break here, take some rest, have some fruits, and then you can proceed on your path. So Hanumanji says, no, I can't wait, I can't just relax, I can't sit here and just enjoy these fruits and all, but I have to do my work. I have to complete my task given to me. Ram kaj kine binu mohi kaha vishram. Without doing Ram kaj, how can I just relax? How can I just become lazy? How can I just forget everything and just have a good time here? It is not possible. So, we should have that asangata. A lot of obstacles will come. Good, bad, ugly, different types of obstacles will come. So, we should face all those obstacles, overcome them and move ahead. That asanga buddhi is very important. Asangata, unattached, keep on moving and doing, performing our duty, untouched by the ups and downs of this world. Goes on and on and on. Just like sometimes if you observe those ants and all, they will keep working. They will keep doing their work, untouched, undisturbed. Even if some obstacle comes, they will try to overcome them and continue with their work, non-stop. Similarly, that asanga buddhi is very important. So, kartavya buddhi, Ishvara arpana buddhi, asanga buddhi, samatva buddhi. Samatva buddhi means should have that attitude in the mind कि whatever be the outcome, whatever be the result, and whatever be the condition, everything I should consider as same. सुख दुखे समय कृत्वा लाभा लाभो जया जयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व naivam papam avapsyasi. Should keep my balance under all situation. The mind and the intellect should be focused on my path and my goal. It should remain balanced. Should not get excited if one gets some what you call praise in the world. Should not get disturbed by the censure of the world. Should not get disturbed by the gain and loss, but should remain balanced. That is called samatva. Later on Bhagavan will tell samatvam itself is yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Then when we perform our action, we will get the result. The result should be taken as prasad of Bhagavan. We should have prasada buddhi in the result. Whatever good, bad, ugly result comes, भगवान का प्रसाद है, भगवान ने मुझे दिया हुआ है. So this buddhi should be clear which should be kept. So when we keep that understanding firmly in our heart while performing action, then that is called karma yoga. That is called yoga buddhi. Again, let me repeat. So kartavya buddhi, Ishvara arpana buddhi, asanga buddhi, samatva buddhi, and prasada buddhi should be there. Then that will lead to chitta shuddhi, chitta ekagrata, and by Bhagwan's blessings we will gain knowledge. Bhagwan will see to it that we gain knowledge. By Bhagwan's kripa only satsangs and all are become possible. You think you can just do it by yourself? No, there is Bhagwan's blessing involved. Binu satsanga viveka na hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabha na soi. Without Ram kripa, this satsang is not possible. Therefore, Bhagwan now talks about this karma yoga buddhi or yoga buddhi. Till now he spoke on Sankhya buddhi. Now he will begin talking about yoga buddhi. Before he goes into the actual the attitude in karma, Bhagwan first tells about the greatness of this karma yoga. In the following few verses, Bhagwan says how this karma yoga is very important and is special and is great. He says in verse number 40, Neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Bhagwan says, in this karma yoga, there are no defects of karma involved. Bhagwan says, na iha abhikrama nashaha asti. In karma yoga, there is no abhikrama nash. Means there is no loss of effort. There is no loss of effort. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Bhagwan says there is no contrary result. Pratyavay, contrary result, something negative result. Bhagwan says, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even if we follow a little bit of this karma yoga, if we put it into practice, Swalpam api, even a little bit, if we bring it in our life, the attitude of karma yoga, this buddhi of karma yoga, this buddhi, understanding while performing karma, even if we bring it little bit in our life, it will save us from great fear. Bhagwan said, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. And what is this mahan bhaya, this great fear? Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji says, this samsara itself is the greatest fear. So, mahataha samsara bhayat, janma maranadi lakshanat. One will become free of this fear of samsara. Means one will become free of samsara. if we follow this path of Karma Yoga. Now let us try to understand this. थोड़ा सा इस पर चिंतन करते हैं. Let us think. See, our ultimate goal is to gain self-knowledge. Our goal is not about gaining the results of karma. Our goal is to gain self-knowledge. So why not directly go to acquire self-knowledge? What is the role of karma? See, even after listening to the whole second chapter, but not understanding this importance of karma, Arjuna asked this question in the third chapter. That's how the third chapter begins. Arjuna is asking Bhagwan कि जायसे चेत कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर जनार्दन तत्किम कर्मणि घोरे माम नियोजयसि केशव. O my dear Janardana, O my dear Keshava, if you think knowledge is superior, if you think knowledge alone will make us free from this samsara, if you think ultimately we have to gain knowledge, if you think knowledge is superior to karma and to everything, then oh my dear Janardana, why are you propelling me into this terrible action of war? What is the purpose of fighting this war? If ultimately we have to gain knowledge, then why not just drop everything and focus our attention on gaining knowledge? Why waste time in action which doesn't lead to moksha? If action doesn't lead to moksha, if the results of actions are not useful for me, then what is the use of performing all these actions? That question Arjuna asked him. And Bhagwan had to then again tell him the division of this Sankhya and Yoga. And Bhagwan told Arjuna that first you have to follow the path of Yoga and then you should follow the path of Sankhya. In the sense, first you have to follow the path of karma, which will lead slowly to Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata and Jnana Prapti. And once you gain that knowledge, then begins the path of knowledge. Then begins the path of gaining abidance in that knowledge. That is very important. Without this karma, we cannot make our mind pure. Without karma, we cannot make our mind single-pointed. So karma becomes important. Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastupalabdhaye vastupalabdhi vicharena na kinchit karma kotibihi. In Vivek Chudamani it is said कि चित्तस्य शुद्धये कर्म, all karmas are meant for chitta shuddhi, न तो वस्तु उपलब्धये, and not for gaining that supreme self. Vastu upalabdhi vicharena, that vastu upalabdhi will happen through vichar and gaining knowledge, na kinchit karma kotibihi, and not by crores of action. But in the beginning, the actions are important. Now again another question. All actions which we perform, they have their inherent some defect. Few defects are there in all actions. So one defect is that sometimes we perform action to gain a particular result in this world. We put forth a lot of effort to gain that result, but because of some coincidence, because of some situation, we don't get the result, and all our effort gets wasted. Like, for example, in farming, etc. Nowadays also a lot of farmers are facing a lot of problem. So farmers put forth lot of effort. They till the soil, they put the seed, they put so much of effort, and then they have to wait for the right weather, for the rains. Sometimes they put forth so much effort and it doesn't rain. And all the effort which they had done goes to waste because they don't get the result. Or sometimes it rains too much and all their effort get wasted. Or it rains at the wrong time and their whole effort get wasted. Or they cultivate the whole crop and they put forth all effort and all, but then because of lockdown they can't sell their goods, so all the effort gets wasted. All the crops and all, they just lie there. They just go to waste. So this is a defect of karma and you can't help it. Lot of karma, you put forth effort, you don't get the result, but हमारा effort सब खत्म, ये what you call waste हो जाता है. That is called abhikrama nashaha. Then again another problem with ordinary karma is that we put forth effort to get a particular result. But sometimes certain things goes wrong, either in my action or in the situation around. Certain things don't get properly connected or fulfilled, and in the bargain I get a contrary result. I get a wrong result. This, to give example from our homes. We check on the YouTube, or we see on the television the nice recipe, how to make a particular item. So we just note it down. Then we bring all the material. Then we start preparing the thing. So I read all the instructions, the recipe, then I start preparing it. I want to make Thai curry, then I get all the ingredients, I cut the vegetables, I bring also tofu and all, and special ginger and all those things which are required. And I follow all the steps. I think I have followed all the steps. And after the end of the process, I look at that result, I am shocked. And I put a photograph of that result on my Facebook page or WhatsApp and all, and people are shocked. They don't want to come to my parties ever again, just looking at that photograph. So we put forth effort to get a particular result, but we can get a contrary result. In case of religious activity also, you perform a ritual, but if suppose the mantras are not proper, the samagris are not proper, or the time of performing that yajna is not proper, or the purohit and all are not proper, or the yajman has not followed proper procedure, then though we have performed the action, since it is not performed properly, we can get a contrary result. Instead of gaining punya, we can get papa for that. So this is called pratyavaya. This is also the defect of karma. We can't help it. With all good intention we perform karma, but we can get a negative result. Quite possible, because it depends on so many factors. But Bhagavan says, in case of karma yoga, you don't, your effort is not wasted and you will never get a contrary result. Arey, aise kaise? Why the rules of karma is not applied to karma yoga? Very interesting. See, ordinary karma or whatever karma when we perform, we get twofold results. We get a result outside and we simultaneously get a result within. Every action has got an effect on the world outside and the world within. When we perform an action, we can modify, we can change the world around us a little bit, but at the same time, with our action, we can modify and change our antakarana also. So Bhagavan says that about changing the world and getting a particular result in the world, there are so many factors involved that you cannot guarantee the result. The best you can do is do your best and leave the rest. You will definitely get a result in the world outside, no guarantee. Therefore, Bhagavan told Arjuna also, you fight this war, but whether you will win or lose, we don't know. So the outer world, the result of in the outer world is not what you call predetermined, means we cannot predict it. We don't know. But the inner result we can control a little bit. If you do it, your karma with an ordinary attitude and all, it can spoil the inner antakarana. For example, if you perform an action with anger, with jealousy, with greed, with pride, with selfishness, with ulterior motives, then all these attitudes affects our antakarana. It gets spoiled. Outwardly you might be appearing to be performing very nice karma and you are getting a nice result, but inside your mind is getting corrupted. But instead of that, if we develop this attitude of karma yoga, what is that? Kartavya buddhi, Ishvara arpana buddhi, asanga buddhi, samatva buddhi, prasada buddhi. If we keep in our head, then whatever be the outer result, the inner result will be same. And what is that? It will purify my mind. It will purify my antakarana. Therefore, later on, Bhagavan will say, yogis, karma yogis, why do they perform action? For chitta shuddhi, for atma vishuddhaye. Yogina karma kurvanti, sangam tektva, atma vishuddhaye. Yogis perform karma with one intention, and what is that intention? To gain chitta shuddhi, to purify their mind so that they become qualified to gain knowledge. So when their focus is on this inner goal, they achieve this inner goal. Whatever be the result in the outer world, they will achieve their inner goal. Bhagavan, even this war, Bhagavan says, even if you lose the war, you will gain chitta shuddhi. If you win the war, you will gain chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi you will gain. That is the beauty. That is very interesting and beautiful. So Bhagavan says, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya. We have to bring this attitude in our heart. After understanding our kartavya, just understand that all these things you are doing for Ishvara, as your dedication, as your seva to Ishvara. So with this attitude when I work, then my mind will start becoming more and more pure. It will become more and more pure, whatever be the result outside. Therefore, swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Why it is so? What is the more difference between this ordinary karma and karma yoga? What is the difference between ordinary karma attitude and karma yoga attitude? That Bhagavan now again tells in the next verse number 41. He says, Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuru nandana bahushakhayanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Bhagavan says कि व्यवसायत्मिका बुद्धि ही एक इह कुरुनंदन. हे कुरुनंदन, हे अर्जुन, from the Kuru Vamsha. Arjuna also is from Kuru Vamsha. Kauravas also Kuru Vamsha. So, hey Kuru Nandana, giver of joy to the Kurus. Vyavasayatmika buddhi eka iha. Iha, in this means in this karma yoga, as well as the previous one, the Sankhya. In Sankhya buddhi and karma yoga buddhi, the buddhi is vyavasayatmika. Vyavasayatmaka means it is definite. It is one, eka iha, one definite, single pointed understanding. There is one definite, single pointed understanding in case of Sankhya and in case of Yoga. Why there is definite, single pointed understanding? Because it is based on Pramana. See, in case of Sankhya, we should have the clear-cut understanding of our own self. There should not be any confusion regarding the nature of our self. How can we achieve it? By taking the support of the right Praman. Try to understand the nature of yourself through the Upanishads, through Bhagavad Gita, through the teacher who conveys the teachings of the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutra. Through them only try to understand the nature of the self. Don't try to understand the nature of the self from all sorts of other means. Through the WhatsApp knowledge which we get, or from internet, or from other various other doubtful scriptures and places. No, you should gain this knowledge from the right Prama. Bhagavan says it is the buddhi here is eka, one, determinant, proper. Why? Because it is based on Praman. So, Vyavasayatmika Nishchaya Svabhava Eka Eva Buddhihi Itara Viparita Buddhi Shaka Bhedasya Badhika Samyak Pramana Janitatvat Iha Shreyo Marge He Kurunandana. Because this buddhi is born from Samyak Pramana. It is born from proper Praman, proper means of knowledge. Therefore, the understanding is very firm. One who follows the right path, one who follows the right scripture, their understanding about their own self, their understanding about the world, their understanding about God is firm and is single pointed. They don't waver. There is no ifs and buts and possibilities and all. There is no idea, concept or theories or hypotheses and all. They are definite about their understanding, about their self, about the world, about Ishvara. Similarly, about karma also, the yogis are clear about their purpose of this karma. Through the pramana, we understand the karma is meant as a stepping stone to take us towards knowledge. So the purpose of karma is clear in the mind of a yogi, karma yogi. And this clarity also has come from proper praman. So very clear. Ki yogina karma kurvanti sangam tektva atma vishuddhaye. Not for any other purpose, but for the sake of the purity of the mind, the yogis, they perform the karma. In the 5th chapter, Bhagavan tells this very clearly. कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या केवलैर इंद्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति संगम त्यक्त्वात्म शुद्धये. In the 11th verse of 5th chapter, कि yogis, they perform that karma with a single pointed vision. Huh? What is that single pointed thing? Ki mamatva varjitaihi ishvaraya eva karma karomi. That without selfishness, without possessiveness, I am performing this karma for the sake of Ishvara only. Na mama falaya iti mamatva buddhi shunyaihi. Not because of my personal gain or result, but for the sake of Ishvara. And their purpose is for chitta shuddhi. Phala vishayam sattva shuddhaye. Atma shuddhaye means chitta shuddhi, for the sake of antakaran shuddhi. So that is the beauty of karma yoga. But in case of other karma, the purpose of performing our action, ordinary action, is so very divergent, so very wide and variety, that a person get lost in karma. Bahushakha anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Those who have not gained proper understanding of karma yoga with the help of the scriptures, those who don't have the purpose of performing karma for chitta shuddhi, their purpose will be something of this world, and about the world there is no end. Therefore they are looking at multiple things while performing karma. Their attention is in 100 different directions while performing karma. Bhagavan says, Bahu Shakha, they have various branches, Anantascha, infinite branches and sub-branches for those person who are performing karma without the attitude of karma yoga. So they will perform for name and fame, to gain this or that of this world, to go to different places, to transformation, for power and politics. They will perform karma. So there will be multiple attention in their head in order to perform karma. So the mind will be always restless. The mind will not be focused. Their focus will not be on the karma. Their focus will not be on chitta shuddhi. Their focus is to gain some worldly benefits. Either gain some name and fame while performing karma, or get some monetary benefit from it, or get some special award from someone. So in this way, even nowadays, people actually, they will do some work, but they will then put a nice photograph in the media, that, oh, I have donated this sanitizer to this person, I have donated this mask to these people, I have donated food. Then they will put photograph while giving that food to that person. Since the photograph has not come properly, again they will take back the food and again they will try to give it. Arre, theek se nikalo photo. All those things. So the purpose is not seva. The purpose is not chitta shuddhi. The purpose is not dedication to Ishvara, but the purpose is something selfish, something ulterior, something low, something cheap. Therefore Bhagavan says in their buddhi they will have multiple direction. Say for example, let us say a circle is there, and there is this one point, what you call the center. So circle and a center, central point and a circle. Now in a circle, in that circumference, how many points are there? There are infinite points. Infinite points are there in the circumference of a circle. Okay? But how many points are there in the center of the circle? Only one point. If your attention is in the center, your attention will be focused on one point. But if your attention is on the circumference, your attention will go from one point to another. You will be roaming around all over the circumference without getting any rest, without getting any any focus anywhere. Similarly, Karma Yoga, the focus is Chitta Shuddhi. That Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, Jnana Prapti, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, they are all they are all same. They are all Parayavachi Shabda. They are all synonyms. When we say Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi, Asanga Buddhi, Samatva Buddhi, Kartavya Buddhi, they are all same. They are all meant for Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. So that is the center. That is the center of the circumference. So paying attention to the center, when we work, our work will become Karma Yoga. But if our attention is not on the center, but it is on the circumference, then we will be just roaming around and taking this roller coaster ride in this world, going up and down and getting tortured. So Bahu Shakha, many shakhas, Ananta, Anantascha, Ananta Shakha, infinite branches and sub-branches will be there in the minds of those who don't have Karma Yoga Buddhi. Buddhayo Avavasayinam, those who are not firm and fixed and clear about their inner goal, they will have multiple shakhas in their head. They will be, and that expresses in their life in the form of restlessness, in the form of fear, in the form of jealousies, pride, greed, competition, trouble. All this type of thing happens as a result of this looking at the circumference. Don't look at the circumference, look at the center. Be centered. Don't be off-centered. Be centered, and then you act in this world. Then the whole thing will be good. Otherwise, we will get lost. How we get lost in the multiple directions of this world, multiple goals of this world, multiple attention in the different karma and the results, that Bhagwan tells in the next verse. He says we get attracted by the words and publicity, propaganda of not only people but of the scriptures also. He says, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitah vedavadarata partha nanyadasteti vadinah. Bhagwan says these people, those who don't follow the path of Karma Yoga, they talk all this they use flowery language. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti. They talk with flowery language about the attraction of this world and how the great world is there and what type of result we will get in this world. उसके बहुत बड़ा चढ़ाकर flowery language they speak. Means they do a lot of propaganda and publicity of these achievements of this world. But Bhagwan says they are avipaschitaha. They are foolish. They don't have proper understanding. They don't have proper vision. They talk nonsense. They are involved in the little glamours of this world. They are involved in the shine and all the light and show of this world. They talk all flowery language, like a propaganda, like our advertisement. If you just check the advertisement, even if they are advertising for something as silly as anything else, they will use such flowery language. They will use such high media and all those stars and models and all in such a way that all stupid thing also will appear as though, अरे बाप रे हमको क्या मिल गया, स्वर्ग मिल गया है. For example, they are selling, let us say, a soft drink. Soft drink is nothing but water with lots and lots of sugar. Lots of sugar. If you boil any of this soft drink, you will get a thick black layer of sugar. So lots and lots of sugar in water and some chemicals which gives color, either black or blue or what you call orange or whatever color, or sometimes colorless also. Now this drink, no sensible person who understands the value of health will drink that drink. You can have a nice glass of water, which is better, or you can have a nimbu pani, that is much better. But instead of having all these chemicals, these are better. But this chemical drink, normally people will not buy or drink it, but the publicity is made in such a way. A very glamorous hero or heroine is now drinking this, jumping from one high store building or somewhere and getting up one bottle of that drink. I don't want to make publicity of any drink, so no names. And then that fellow drinks it. It rides a fast-moving motorcycle and all. So when I look at it, I start dreaming. I start imagining. Arey wah, if I can also be like that, such a nice thing. I always wanted to become a great hero. I always wanted to ride a motorcycle very fast. I always want to act and appear very glamorous. But all these things I cannot do. I have a Phata Purana cycle there, and when I dress also is not proper. So I don't have all these things. But only thing I can do is I have some money with me. I can go and buy that soft drinks. At least I can get a vicarious pleasure that I am that hero who has jumped from that building, and the heroines are looking at me with so much of admiration. So I can get some joy out of it. So because of that propaganda, I drink that and I suffer also because of that. If this example is clear, similar thing happens in our by these people who do publicity of the various achievements of this world, and not only that, even the scriptures do publicity. Even our Vedas and all, the portion which talks about fulfillment of Kama and Artha are also there in the Vedas. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So sometimes the Vedas say, you perform this karma, and if you do this ritual, you can go to Swarga. It will be so nice to you. You can just sit there with Indra Bhagwan, and you can see the dance of all these apsaras and all. Very wonderful. Here you can't see any dance, you yourself have to dance. But there you can go and have a dance, and you can drink Amrit, such a nice thing. For that you have to perform this karma. You have to get the milk of the cow, you have to get all those cow dungs, you have to put the bricks in the proper order, you have to learn this mantra, you have to get those purohit, then you have to chant a particular, at a particular time you have to perform this ritual, you have to invoke all the devatas, chant the mantras properly. If you go anywhere wrong in the mantra, the devatas will beat you up. They will give you negative results, so you be alert. Chant them properly. Offer the ahutis in the right time, to the right Agni and all. So we get carried away, not only by the publicity and propaganda done by the scriptures for the worldly and otherworldly result, but also the publicity and propaganda done by the world and the worldly people. Bhagavan says, Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitaha Vedavada Ratha Partha. Hey Partha, they are all the great, they speak about the Vedas, means about the great results which we can gain through various types of rituals. They talk about that portion of the Vedas. And they say that this alone is there. Na anyadasti iti vadina. They don't believe in the Upanishads. They don't believe in the Supreme Brahma. They say, oh, kuch nahi hai. This is the main thing. The Vedas, you perform this ritual and you will get Swarga Prapti. You can go to heaven. Huh? There you will get all good things and all. See, various religions are there and they describe their own heavens, and people get attracted to this. Their life here is miserable. They can't, their homes are miserable. Their families are fighting with each other and they have a miserable life. So they dream about a nice Swarga. Then their religious leader and all comes. They say that if you do this ritual, you will go to Swarga. There, the God will be very happy with you and He will give you all the pleasures of that life. If you can't follow this path sincerely, then shortcut method also they tell. If you go and destroy that fellow who is not believing you, you go and kill that fellow who is not following that path properly, you will directly go to Swarga and there you will get all the benefits. So all sorts of negative, low propaganda, publicity, and a person get totally caught up in this and start going from one post to another pillar, roaming around in this circumference of this karma. The circumference of the karma is endless. One goes on and on and on. The only way to become free of the bondage of karma is come to the center. From the center, when you look, you can see the play of this karma around you. But you will be steady, you will be firm, you will not falter, and you will attain the supreme goal. Otherwise, you will get caught up in this karma bandhan. So, more about this we will see in our class tomorrow. Till then, stay safe, stay home, stay happy, peaceful, and you read your notes. Also, if you get the time, read Bhagwan Shankaracharyaji's commentary. That is what I am following here. And you contemplate on it. And we will meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Boliye Siyavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.